Scott, you and I jumped into Rebellion's latest game. I'm not talking about Sniper Elite. I'm talking about ATOMFALL. Dude, you and I have been playing this one, and to be honest, this is not a game in my wheelhouse. This is not in my comfort zone. This is pulling me out of my comfort zone, in fact, and I'm having an incredible time. I was blown away by how much this game actually pulled me in, because it is that Fallout, it is that Chernobyl kind of game-esque feel, I think, that we're so used to. There's one part, it's called the interchange, and that's as much as I can say. It reminds me of the Vault, right, of Fallout. That's the whole
absolutely
yeah, that's where I'm feeling right there off the top. For me, score-wise, I gotta give it a 9. Dude, I'm going with the 9 right off the top. Where are you at? How are you feeling about this?
I have to agree with you score-wise there. I think this is a 9 out of 10, but there are some small issues that do take it away from a perfect score. This is exactly in my wheelhouse. It's not your comfort game, but it is mine, and I would describe it shorthand as a mixture of what makes Fallout really fun to me and Stalker. And that marriage of the two is absolutely incredible. You're getting really harsh environments that make you want to explore them, but they're harsh and they're going to be dangerous, and there's hints towards that all throughout. And that was one of the first realizing moments as I get into that little pond, and we're not going to touch on too many hard details here, but I get it. I see a pond and somebody who has met a terrible fate, and I'm thinking to myself, am I just going to be the second body there? And I ran across the pond, and I very well could have been the second body there. This game is so it punishes you for making mistakes.
Absolutely. I think the way the game starts off, you're just somebody who doesn't know who they are, how they got there, and all that situation, right? So you get out, you get into the open world, and I'm instantly gratified by the location, the setting, the aesthetics of the world itself. And then you get into other spots, I'm like, ooh, this is not looking as good as it did before. So there's a little mixture in, I think, graphical quality at the end of the day that's a little off-putting in some instances, but it feels very much in the same of, this is Rebellion. This is a Sniper Elite-esque location with a twist, I think, right? You get these buildings that you're so familiar with when it comes to Rebellion's Sniper Elite series, and then they put it on their head and give you more of this Fallout post-apocalyptic feeling of this, what happened here, right? The atom plant basically went kaboom. What's going on? Why are you in this quarantine section? And then the best part about it, as you and I have been playing throughout the game, we're back and forth talking the whole time. It's got so many water cooler moments of, dude, I went this way and this is what happened to me. And you're like, oh, I didn't do that. I went this way and this is what happened to me. I was like, that is incredible.
I hit a water cooler moment not 2 minutes into the game, and I had to send you that message because I couldn't believe it. There's so much player agency that I thought, surely I can't do this. There's no way it'll let me do this. And the game indeed let me do it, and it allows you to be the monster that you want to be, perhaps. Now, when I made this mistake and I did something awful to somebody who didn't deserve it, I did what I did in Fallout, where I roll back the save. I just made a save file, so I rolled that back a few minutes ago. It was just a really weird, sick daydream that I had, and we'll continue on. You do bump your head after all. You do awake into this place, so you don't really know why you're here or who you are, but you're going to discover that as you go. And I found like that was so much more fun because I could really put myself in there. I had the options to make the decisions that I wanted to make, or just to be an outright jerk to certain people, and it was really fun that way. But I do want to circle back around to what you said with the visuals, because at times this game is beautiful. You look over at the vistas and everything is so rich. The textures are so high and just pop out at you, but there's something just below the surface that's not as spectacular, and I think it comes down to the assets. I think some of these games, some of the game's assets are a little bit too square, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if you recall that, but seeing some of the environment, and that gets a little frustrating. The buildings,
the rocks,
because you can't climb the rocks like you might think you can,
yeah.
And that gets really annoying. But then again, it's the type of game that it is. You're not supposed to be scaling up a mountain. It's not Fallout in that regard. But another thing I noticed was that some of the animation in the character models are a little weird. I came across a few moments, people staring off with really strange look on their face, and they're looking off together at a tree, nothing happening. It's just, they're just kind of stuck looking in wonder. So I joined them in wonder, going, what the heck? But it was just some weird little hang-ups like that. Didn't bother me, but it did take me out of the moment for that one moment.
No, for sure. I had one enemy. So, like, you get into a location, and everything seems fine, but then you hear a whistle. Like, oh, okay, somebody's near, right? Like, somebody's close by. I'm like, okay, be on guard, because you're never sure what's going to happen. Because sometimes it'll just be one outlaw, a generic bad guy, is basically what we're going to call them, right? And then you get into a pack of them. So you never quite know, because you don't want to face the pack head on. But if you can pick them off one by one. But I had this one guy just kind of like, he was over to the right of the screen, and then whew, next thing you know, he teleports over to, I'm like, whoa, that's a little,
oh no.
Oh yeah. That's the only instance though I've had really where I've had a teleportation or a pop in. Actually, I had another guy too just suddenly just show up out of nowhere, walk in front of me. I'm like, well, that's kind of, there's a couple little minor things, but again, it's so minor compared to the story. No spoilers obviously on the story, but the way the story is told. So many times in past games, we are hit with, here's a cutscene, sets this up, away you go, right? Or here's your objective, here you're here, your objective is over at A, B, and C, go. Not in this case. ATOMFALL has one of the best storytelling systems that just immerses you so well into the world and lets you figure it out. You're literally tossed basically out of this vault, falling it. Dude, I can't help it, right? It feels so Fallout to me.
It's a vault. As soon as that door opened, I'm going, this is Fallout. That's a vault.
So I get out of the vault, and you're just like, go. Figure it out. And then you find...
no waypoints.
No waypoints whatsoever, right? So what happens is that you're given these notes. You find these notes, which then leads to a lead, which then involves an investigation, which then unfolds the story. Absolutely brilliant. Not once am I carried through the game. Not once am I pointed in, this is the direction you need to go. And this is where I'm talking about the water cooler moments, because I'm following one lead, Scott. Well, you're following another one, right? So your investigation is taking you to the right, and I'm going on the left side, and I'm going under. Dude, there's so many creepy areas too. I hate it. I can't. Right? Again, this is one of those things. This game is not my comfort zone. So to get me into these situations, and then you're running into these ferals, I'm like, yeah, get out of here. I don't want to deal with you. Then you get into some of these dark secret areas. The secrets in this game, Scott, there's so much. Oh. It pays to explore. From finding the notes, from finding secrets. I found this pathway. I'm like, yo, where's this lead? And you found a secret. And because I've talked to so many other people, I was able then to shift around and, oh, I found a key over here. Or I talked to somebody and manipulated them out of that, and away I go. Dude, ATOMFALL, one of the best surprises so far of 2025.